Listen up. What I'm about to tell you isn't just news, it's the start of a real-life action movie. We're talking about the global race for Bitcoin mining, and trust me, it's not a nerd thing. It's a brutal power game with billions of dollars on the line, and you could be a part of it. Look, on one side you have countries like Iran and Russia. Cut off by international sanctions, what do? They mine Bitcoin. They use their energy, sometimes even their surplus, to generate this digital gold. It's their secret weapon to bypass Wall Street and the old-school banking system. Can you believe that? They're using a simple code to challenge the world's superpowers. And the craziest part is, it's working. But the game gets even more interesting, because now the big players are getting in on the action. You know what? Marine Le Pen's party in France proposed using their surplus nuclear energy for Bitcoin mining. Think about this. They have huge nuclear power plants with energy that goes to waste, and suddenly someone says, "Hey, what if we turn that energy into digital cash?" It's a masterstroke, a way to monetize a resource they already have. And if you think that's exciting, just wait, because the United States is now the king of the ring. After China banned mining, thousands of miners, with their millions of dollars in equipment, moved to Texas. Mining companies, many of them publicly traded, are investing astronomical amounts. We're talking about a massive investment, a race to dominate the Bitcoin network and secure control. Can you imagine the return on investment? It's so high, it's attracting the world's biggest investors. And as if that weren't enough, just to complicate things, there's the sustainability angle. We know mining consumes a lot of energy. But Norway has a brilliant idea. Use renewable energy. With their massive reserves of hydroelectric power, they are positioning themselves as the paradise for green mining. They're attracting the most environmentally conscious miners and setting a new industry standard. So, is there a race for Bitcoin mining? No, there isn't. It's a full-blown battle. A mix of geopolitics, energy, and billions at stake. The outcome of this digital Cold War will not only decide who controls Bitcoin, but it could also change the way the world views money forever. So after all this, are you curious about how much a Bitcoin miner costs for your own home? Now don't get scared by the name. The halving is simply the moment when the reward for mining a Bitcoin block is cut in half. And this happens every 10,000 blocks, or roughly every 4 years. Why is it so important? Because it's the core of Satoshi Nakamoto's master plan to create scarcity. You know what? The supply of Bitcoin is programmed to be finite. There will only ever be 21 million. And unlike traditional money, which governments can print non-stop, Bitcoin's issuance automatically shrinks. And that leads us to a key point you need to understand right now. The next halving will be in 2028, and after that, the one in 2032. By then, the block reward will no longer be what it is today. And here's the kicker. According to Bitcoin's math, in 2032, the daily mining reward will drop below 1 Bitcoin per day. That's insane! Think about that. If today more than 900 Bitcoins are mined daily, in the near future it will be less than 1. Can you imagine the value of a single Bitcoin in that scenario? And it doesn't stop there, because in 2048, the reward per day will drop below 0.05 Bitcoin. That is to say, the scarcity will be so brutal that the opportunity to acquire a full Bitcoin will be almost non-existent for most people. We're talking about a revaluation due to scarcity that is unprecedented in the history of humanity. It's as if gold became harder to find every 4 years until one day, finding a single nugget was almost impossible. Plus, there are a couple more things that are accelerating all of this. The legal regularization and adoption are already here. The big investment funds, corporations, governments, they're no longer asking if Bitcoin is real, but how to integrate it. This means that demand is growing exponentially while supply is shrinking due to the halving. So I'm telling you straight, buying Bitcoin is a disappearing opportunity. It's now, or it will become very difficult in 2032, and impossible in 2048. The train has already left the station, and Bitcoin's programmed scarcity, which is no longer just a theory but a reality, is about to take its value to levels we can't even imagine today. So, after understanding all this, I have to ask you, do you really think you can afford not to own even a tiny piece of Bitcoin? Visit website fastcryptonews.com.